Alright, well today I'm going to take you out and show you what we've been working on. The kids have been helping a little bit, and it's been quite the chore. But I wanted you to see what is happening because it's going to change very rapidly, and I would like to track our progress with you.
We finally got a mower. So our other mower is back home. We left it there so we could mow that yard. And Shaun ran out and he found this on Facebook Marketplace and got this. We love Cub Cadets. That's usually what we buy. Yeah. And this one looks pretty good. The kids could help. John, you're gonna help mow?
Yep. No,
yeah?
I am boss.
Oh, you?
Yeah. No, I am.
You are?
No, she's not helping.
Sounds like everybody wants to help mow.
I do it after I test it out. I want to make sure everything's working on it.
Yeah. Okay, here's the first little kid that gets to try it out.
No!
Are you ready? Christian was literally pushing kids out of his way so he could get on that seat first. He loves riding on the lawnmower with Dad. But so does every other kid.
And this is first time?
No, it's his second time.
Yeah, because at home just like he's two.
That's right. Gavin loves to ride. Isabella loves to ride.
I actually know how to walk
You do know how, don't you? John loves to mow.
Dad taught us
Lily likes to ride.
Yeah, Dad taught us how to do it.
He
so
Daddy, put the other tires?
No.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go mow?
No. Kiss it. I'll press these buttons. Don't step on that. Got bigger pockets.
Well, I'm going to run out and start mowing, so I will be back before dinner.
Are you sure that?
So I got the yard, probably 3 acres, maybe a little bit more than 3 acres today, mowed, and man, I've got to hand it to these Texans out here dealing with this wind, and the heat isn't too bad, but when you're out there in the field and the wind's hitting you about 40 miles an hour, straight line winds, and the dust is blowing in your face, and I've got to say, these guys are tough out here to live like this, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. It's very sandy here, which is very different than Nebraska. I mean, we have dark, black dirt and full of nutrients, and here it's mainly just sandy, hard soil that it's almost impossible to take a shovel and get down more than an inch with all your weight. It's just nuts. But I did get it mowed, and I'm happy to be done because that sucked. I just want to give my wife a shout out. I wanted to see how long she was going to be okay with these curtains. I figured, we're going to have to spend a few hundred at least just to get the curtains replaced right away, but she hasn't mentioned anything. I just want to say how nice that is not to have to deal with that right away, but here's these beautiful curtains, and she seems to be okay with it. Every day I keep thinking she's going to throw them in the trash, but I think she's growing fond of them. They are very funny curtains, but I'm sure back in the 70s or whenever they made these, it was the thing to do out here. They are frilly, they are discolored, and they are clean. But yeah, she's put up with them, and that is a great characteristic as far as I'm concerned. So it's a shout out to her that she can deal with those, because most people, most women especially, can't. And she's fine with it, and I love that about her. Okay, so I wanted to show everybody how we ended up killing all these, what do you call them? Live oak
Moth.
moth,
It's like
worm,
a
whatever.
caterpillar.
Yeah, they were all over our house, which you guys saw in the video. But I went to the Farmers Co-op is where I ended up getting the stuff that really worked, and it's called Demon WP. And there's 4 packets in here. It's pretty slick because they have self-dissolving packets. You don't even have to be exposed to them. You open this package up. There's 4 packages in there. You put it up about halfway and drop. I put 2 of them in because one didn't seem to do the trick. So I dropped 2 of the little baggies filled with the poison in it, or the powder, whatever. And you shake it up, you mix it real good, and then you finish filling it up. I used about 1.5 gallons, but this stuff really knocked them out, which I'm happy about. There was no odor, and it seemed like the pets weren't affected at all by. They couldn't tell that it wasn't anything but water, it seemed like. So it did its job, and now we know. Okay, well, we're down here in Texas. We're about into the 3rd week, and it's just gotten to a point where it's overcast enough we can get out and do some things without the 60-mile-an-hour winds and the extreme heat. So we got rid of the bugs yesterday. They seem to have killed everything off that we were worried about, and now I am trying to figure out how to prune these things. I haven't found anything online. Maybe I'm not looking up the right words or something, but these I think you've got to shape them into a tree, otherwise they kind of look like a bush, but we've got a lot of them, and I thought I would try my hand at trimming this or pruning this one up. You can see it's kind of been neglected. The bottom leaves are dying off, and I have a feeling that's an indication they need to be cut off. So I hope I'm not doing anything wrong. If I am, if any of you out there know how to prune these the correct way, I think they're called the palmetto tree is what they are, but they kind of look like a pineapple on the outer bark as they go up. I've got these down and trimmed, but I was just going to show you how I ended up doing it. It seemed to be the easiest way to do it. I just used a utility knife, and with the pressure, the gravity pulls on these, if you cut the top, they will begin to kind of splinter a little bit like that, and then you can finish them off this way. This one's pretty dead, so it snapped, but some of the ones I wanted to get off there before we go back to Omaha was pretty green and in good shape, but I felt like I wanted them off just to give the tree a little bit more shape instead of making it look more like a bush, more like a palm tree. And hopefully I haven't killed the tree, but you never know. But compared to cutting 25 trees down in our yard back home in Omaha, this is pretty simple. But if anybody knows of something other than machete to take these off, because I'm guessing in the tropics where these are even more prevalent, they probably use a machete of some sort and chop at them. But anyway, we've got this one done. On to the next one.
So Shaun has trimmed this one up also. I can't tell from here, but there's actually 3 trees growing there. So one of them is growing like straight towards the house, which we don't want that. So we need to figure out if there's a way to, I don't know if you can take those out, or they're probably super heavy. The one on the other side is about as big as this one over here on the side. And we'd love to go put them over here along our driveway. I think that'd be really cool. But there's the pile. You know, they were blocking our walkway here, our entrance into the house. And so it looks so much better now that he's cut that. But then we have all of these. And they're just one big huge cluster of them. And Shaun and I keep talking about how it'd be nice to take them out and transplant them along the driveway. And I think you can do that. But I'm not sure how well they would survive a move. So we're going to do a little bit of research on that and see if we can do that, because I think they'd be really pretty over here.
All right, so we got this flower bed, tree bed, whatever you want to call it. The palms were in, all cleaned up and ready for these to be watered down. I think I tried to use a shovel and transplant one of them just to try it. And you can't even get the shovel down more than an inch without either breaking your foot or the shovel. So I thought I'd come out here and show you where we're at. We're going to try and transplant a bunch of these, at least the tree forms, along our driveway. We will see if this softens the dirt up and see if we can't get these transplanted. We'll show you what it looks like when we're all done. All right, well today I'm going to take you out and show you what we've been working on. The kids have been helping a little bit, and it's been quite the chore. But I wanted you to see what is happening, because it's going to change very rapidly, and I would like to track our progress with you. I thought I would show you, these are the size holes we're having to dig to get the roots out. But it was not what I had planned or figured on. I figured it had a really deep taproot, and they don't. They are kind of just shallow, and they go more horizontal. Good example of one of these palmetto trees. We've dug about, it's probably a foot down, maybe a little bit more, but you can see how far you get before you see any of the roots. This is just the bulb of the tree, the root bulb, and then the shoots just start coming out from underneath that. It makes it difficult to get to it unless you really open this up, which we're going to have to do in order not to cut those important roots off. So we've been at it for 20 minutes maybe, so we're going to keep going, and we'll show you how big this has to get and how deep we have to go to get a substantial amount of the root system out for transplant.
Now that is one heck of a beetle. That thing is massive.
It's probably 1.5 inches.
Whoa! That's disgusting.
It's not a cockroach, is it?
I don't think so. It looks like a beetle. That's huge. In the palm tree dirt, huh?
Yeah. There it goes. We're going to line this with these palmettos that we were going to either have to, I don't know what we were going to do, either cut them off and start mowing over them and planting grass, or just digging them out, I guess. But we're going to plant these and we'll see how they turn out. We're going to leave to go back to Omaha here in a couple weeks, and we're not going to have the ability to water these. So I'm hoping we get some rains, but we'll water them real good before we leave and see how they do. This is an example of what they look like when they get a little bit bigger. The trunks kind of look like a pineapple base, but they are really pretty to have around the house. When the wind blows, it sounds like you're in the tropical areas with the ocean close, which we know it's not as close as we'd like, but it gives you the feel. So here's this one we're going to transplant. I wanted to get my feet wet with transplanting these and seeing if we have some success, and then we will move on to these bigger ones. But I want to show you the other ones that we're going to have to probably get rid of or transplant. I will probably try and transplant them all. I don't know if they're going to live or not, but we're going to try. And then on the east side of our house, this one is actually still alive. We thought was dead. But then over here, we've got this one, and that seems to be what happens is they stop mowing close to these trees, and then one of these will pop up. Now this one's gotten pretty big. I don't know how easy that one's going to be to get out of the ground next to the tree, but we're going to give it a shot because I really love the idea of having, that's probably 20 foot, maybe 25 feet high. And then we also have one over here. We are going to attempt to pull that one out, probably the last one, because I'm going to be very careful with it to see if we can't salvage it, because it's really a pretty one. This tree, I hope, makes it. These caterpillars have been eating the leaves as they've been budding, and as you know, we've had a lot of trouble with caterpillars this year. So here's the other one that I wanted to transplant. It's kind of in an odd spot, but that's where it must have seeded and grew, because I don't think anybody would have planted it right next to a pole like that. And that pole's not going to go anywhere because it's our security light. So anyway, this is the other one. The nice thing about this one is that it is really sandy, and it seems to be a little bit easier to get around it and start digging. I've had to dig a couple things out of here anyway, and it was very easy. Put some weight on the shovel and it goes in and no problem. But out in the other part of the yard, it almost feels like you're trying to dig up rock, and that's not fun. So anyway, here's our last one, and again, it has grown up right next to the live oak, which this live oak I wish was in better shape, but whatever, we love it. We will start probably spraying it the next time we have problems with the caterpillars. But here's the other one that I wanted to try and save and transplant. It's probably 10 feet tall, and it looks like it's going to be a tree as well. The only way I can really tell that they're trees is they start to, the lower limbs, you know, there's a name for these things. You can see this stupid caterpillar still attacking our trees. But the lower limbs start to die, and then they either break off or you cut them off. You can see this one right here is dead, and it needs to be cut off. So the upper ones keep growing, and it just keeps getting taller and taller. So we're going to try that one to try and transplant that. If we have success, I'll let you know how I did the last few, and show you how I did it, so that maybe you can do it. Some of the people down south here may have some of these and want to transplant them. So
I'm gonna have to water this, but this is my palm tree. That one's mine. It's 2, but I don't pick the last one. And then you might not be able to see it, so I'm gonna zoom in. That one's mine. Pretty cool, And then Lily is dying to show us her other one. The dogs love it. So that's hers. It's pretty big. Okay, so we are out today. Me and Elena have our very own plants we want to plant since there's extra. Some of them are about to die a couple hours, so we better get going. I've been exhausted from carrying those things. They were so heavy. going to get it. We'll be right back. So Lily is going to do hers and I'm going to do mine. Yes. We made a deal. If I'm going to do mine, she gets a small nibble of my candy. She can't apparently have my chocolate bunny. Apparently because someone ate my last one.
Yes, and I think I know who the culprit is. Because somebody in the house has been eating all the Easter candy.
Yeah, they've been stealing from each basket at a time. And today it was my turn.
Oh my gosh, Lily, come over here. Okay. It's wood right here. Do you hear that?
Oh no. We won't be able to plant Elena's tree right there, that means. Okay, so we found a wooden thing. You can hear it's wood.
Oh yeah.
Something must be under it. Okay, we will be right back. Wow, Lena. Doing some serious business there.
All right, guys, sorry. I feel like it's always so windy out here. But here's what the girls did, the final product, their little palm trees that they planted. And I think it's so cute because they took the initiative to grab them and plant them themselves. And so there's one of them. And then this one over here, they even put in a stick to make sure that it grows straight. But how fun and what a great lesson for them to learn how to plant a tree.